We have previously discussed Zechariah's colored horses, which he saw in two separate visions. These were the same horses seen by John in his apocalyptic vision, the famous four horsemen. In both of Zechariah's visions, the prophet was shown the restoration of the heavenly city and temple in the latter days, when the Lord again sits upon his celestial throne. Zechariah saw other visions of the events of the latter days, including the gathering of Israel. Like John and other prophets, Zechariah saw the holy city, Zion, atop the Axis Mundi, the Lord's holy mountain. The prophet saw the Son of Man, the cosmic man typifying Jesus Christ, appear to stand upon the Mount of Olives, or the Axis Mundi, as the polar configuration re-established itself over Earth's northern pole. Like Ezekiel and John, Zechariah saw the river of life, the living waters proceeding earthward from the heavenly city temple. Jeremiah saw much more in his panoramic vision of the events of the Second Coming and recorded what he saw. The great prophetic vision of the meridian of time and the latter days was not limited to the prophets of the Old Testament. Prophets in New Testament times, other than John the Apostle, saw the events as well. Though the scriptures are not explicit on the matter, it is certain that the Apostle Paul had the prophetic vision of the latter days. Paul does mention obliquely that he had a vision where he was caught up to the third heaven. This follows the typology of the great prophetic vision, as we shall discuss in a later episode. Paul is silent on what he was told and shown in the vision, but we know from statements in other epistles that he was quite familiar with what would happen in the latter days. In his first epistle to the Thessalonians, Paul makes it axiomatic that members of the church should be knowledgeable of the events of the last days. Members are the children of light, Paul points out, and he doesn't need to explain the events, since all should know what will happen. Paul also knew of the apostasy in the Lord's church prior to the Second Coming and the peril it would engender. Paul knew of the brightness of the Lord's coming, signifying that he saw it. We do not know for certain if Peter saw the great vision of the last days. We do know, however, that he knew exactly what would happen. Peter's description of the event, with its fervent heat and great noise, exceeds the account given to him and his fellow apostles by the Savior as recorded in chapter 24 of Matthew. It suggests that Peter actually saw the event and then related the details, usually only understood by an eyewitness.